Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marsh, and today I'm going to be presenting a montage and tips video on one of my favorite champions of all time, Annie the Dark Child. This isn't going to be an in-depth tutorial or anything, but just a montage of 3 games where I dominate with Annie all clipped in one. As the video plays in the background, I'm going to explain you guys some tips, such as what items to get and what skill build order you do, and basically just show you guys how to gank and such. So right now I'm going to show you guys all the skins that I own for her, which I do own all of them, which is kind of a waste of money, but I gotta show her some love, you know? One of the main reasons why I make this video is because I've witnessed many people building her wrong or just basically playing her retardedly, which honestly deeply hurts my heart because I hate seeing her play her so poorly because I know her potential and she is honestly she's the beast of a champion if properly used. And it's what many people call a spike damage caster, where most of her spells are strong nukes that deals an enormous amount of damage, which kind of causes damage to spike down as the spell hits. Hoping you guys are at least familiar with Annie and some of her spells, I won't go into them into too much detail. Her passive, as you can see, which allows Annie to stun, can be used in many situations, where as you can see I just stop Warwick in his place and let the tower kill him. I will be demonstrating many more instances where that stun is amazing for many situations. Typically you want to utilize your passive with your ult, which I call the bear bomb, to initiate every kill or game because it acts on an AoE stun and does a massive amount of damage to whoever's caught in that spell. Afterwards, you cast her 2 main nukes as a combo together. Just a side note to everyone, I refer to her spell Disintegrate as Fireball and Incinerate as Flamethrower, just because I don't want to get tongue-tied as I commentate, and for her ult, it's either Tibbers or Bear Bomb. I'm just informing you guys now so that you guys don't get confused as you guys are listening to my commentary while watching this video. But anyways, alright, for this clip, I'm going to show you guys the 1-2 combo for Annie, where she casts her Fireball and Flamethrower right after another in one quick motion. To be honest, this combo right here is so strong because it's like 2 nukes back to back. Her cooldowns for these 2 spells are very low as well, so you'll be able to cast them multiple times in team fights. So when you're doing this combo, you want to cast the Fireball first because there's low animation before the Fireball actually launches, while the Flamethrower casts almost instantly. So when the Flamethrower is casted, it's usually the case where the Fireball hits its target, so the 2 spells almost hit at the same time instantaneously. So now I'm going to talk about her last spell, which is her Molten Shield. It's a protective spell which isn't really important, but at the same time it is. Due to her passive, I apparently use the shield to help charge it up. So typically before a fight or when I'm not going to gank, I'm going to leave the charge at 4, and before I engage in the fight, I'm going to pop the shield in order to get the charge stunned, and then throw down the combo. Some of the spells I use for Annie are Flash and Ghost, but you can use other combinations such as Flash Ignite or Ghost Ignite. However, I think that Flash and Ghost should be used for Annie because typically she is the main target for team fights and will be focused down, so having her spells that allows her to escape easier is recommended. Flash, to be honest, is a must for Annie because I can let go of Ghost, but Flash is needed to surprise the enemy and drop the bear bomb and unleash a combo, on which you can see in many instances in the video I do a lot. Alright, so moving on to her skill order. My skill order for Annie is maxing out her Fireball first, then her Flamethrower, and getting her Molten Shield at level 4. Her Fireball comes first because it's a farming spell, and as her level goes up with it, it's easier to last hit creeps so you can get her money returned. So as you max level 4 in Flamethrower, it'll become your next farming spell because eventually you'll be able to kill a whole row of caster creeps in one spell and scoop a large amount of gold. Leaving Molten Shield last is smart because you're only going to need it for passive charging purposes, so leveling up isn't really that important, so just leave it at level 1 until later on. Alright, so move on to her item build. For starters, you start with a mana gem and 2 health potions, and then you transition to Callus and Boots. Callus is very important because it helps heal you and give you mana as you level up, so you won't have to go back to base as much. So therefore, you want to finish your raw ages too early, so therefore I recommend you get your Magi's and finish off your boots before doing so. After that, you get your Void Staff for extra AP and spell penetration. With that finished, it's either Rabadon's Death Cap or Guardian's Angel, depending on what you're doing. With the last slot up for grabs, depending on the flow of the game, so it's up to you. If you're doing good, get more AP. But if you're not and your team's losing, it's more better to go more defensive items for the survival purposes. Alright, so with all that out of the way, I can finally move on to the good stuff, which is show you guys how to gank. And it isn't really hard champion to gank with because, to be honest, once you get her combos down, it's fairly a breeze, depending on how well you're doing throughout the game. For this scene, I'm facing Vlad at level 6, and it's all about outplaying your opponent and knowing when to stun. Because with him pressuring me, I can tell on when he's going to hit me in tower range. So when he's in tower range, I'm going to stun him, and this with the tower, I'm going to finish it off, and honestly, as you can see, it's fairly easy. So when you're laying in mid, you want to harass your opponent until their health is at half or just a bit over. This leaves them feeling a bit secure and have at least some confidence to stay in the lane. So if you ever do that, just go in when your stun is charged and drop Tibbers, following up with the rest of your spells to get the kill. It's always important to remember to check what summoner spells your opponent has as well, because just in case they have Flash, Ghost to heal, they can always survive or escape your combo and you'll have wasted your ult. Alright, so moving on to the next scene, which I think utilizes and shows Annie's potential in ganking purposes. So as you can see, Zillion is going to face check the brush. He doesn't know that I'm there, so before he knows it, I'm going to drop Tibbers along with my spell combo, stun them, and he almost dies instantly even before he can even cast his ult. So now I'm going to show you guys when the 1-2 combo goes wrong. It mainly only works when you're near an enemy champion or when you have your stun up, because as you can see, when I try to hit Pantheon with it, only my fireball hits, but my flamethrower was out of range in order for it to hit, and therefore it was missed. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to mention is, to be honest, the most very important thing about Annie that I feel that if you guys are going to take anything from a video, please take this one advice and put it into your Annie gameplay. Because, alright, so before any engagement, charge your stun. I know some of you guys are thinking, well, that is obvious, right? But I still see many people don't do that. Another thing is that freely cast your flamethrower or incinerate freely open in the air in order to slowly charge your stun. Because many times, there may not be many creeps around to cast fireball on, so you don't have 2 spells left in order to charge your stun. And Molten's shield has a long cooldown. So therefore, the fastest way to charge a stun is to cast flamethrower openly when necessary. So therefore, the fastest way to charge a stun is to cast your flamethrower openly in order to get that stun charge up. That's why if you guys are watching my video closely, I'll be casting my flamethrower as I'm walking towards the team fight or when I'm getting ready to gank. Unfortunately, I wish I had gameplay footage of these next tips I want to talk to you guys about, but I think this is one of the reasons why I think it's vital to have stun up before every team fight. So let's say you're about to engage in a team fight and the other team has a Nunu or Katarina, in which you know that they're going to drop their ult to own your team. So during these moments, almost 4 out of 5 times their team will be hovering around that ult. So it's important to remember that you always have to aim your tibbers to land on top of the ulting champion to cancel the ult, while hitting the rest of their team as well, just so that you can stun everyone. Because let's remember that once again, this is obvious, but your ult not only stuns, but it damages everyone calling the spell as well, and tibbers does a lot of damage. But I will talk about how to use tibbers properly later on in my video. But I just want to say that with the talk about her stun all wrapped up, to me, I think one of the main reasons why Annie is so great and is a good contribution to any team is due to the fact that she has that passive stun that is utilized with the rest of her spells. This is a general tip, but just remember to coordinate with your teammates, because League of Legends is a team-based game and it's all about coordination of your crowd control spells, communication, and assigning roles to everyone for certain situations. I think for Annie, one of her main roles is to just deal damage, take out an enemy champion as soon as possible, or just focus on getting a massive stun on everyone. Alright, so my next topic, I'm going to show you guys how to properly use tibbers in different situations. For my last game, which is clipped in my video, I want to focus on how to use tibbers and what to do after in the team fight, after you have dropped all your spell combos and everything's on cooldown. So in this clip, you can see that both Annie and Heimerdinger are low in health, and in this instance, it's all about taking your time, properly aiming your tibbers at the right moment in order to tag both of them. And after that, you just gotta clean up, cast the rest of the spells to kill them. Okay, so for the next clip, I'm gonna show you guys a gank against Blitzcrank using all my summer spells as well as any spells, all putting them together. So Blitzcrank is a tanky high HP champion, and you can see that my spells don't do a lot of damage to him. So for this fight, it's all about positioning myself after a stun and knowing the extent of my spells and its range, as well as putting together my summer spells. So basically with practice, you'll be able to understand the dynamics of Annie and her potential. So for this next fight, you can see that I aim my tibbers in order to catch 3 people in it, stun them, and then cast the rest of my spells. Afterwards, you can see that most of them are aiming for me, and after my combo, I try to survive by running away or positioning myself somewhere else to buy me some time in order for my spells to get off cooldown. Which is good that they are aiming for me, because sometimes they are so focused on trying to kill me that my other teammates can just pick them off. So here are some of the reasons why Annie is top priority in team fights. Since you are a caster and that if you have Magi's in your build with a good amount of stacks, you are most likely high priority to be taking out team fights, because most likely they want to get rid of your stacks, and because even with Riot Aegis, you may have around 2k max health. And to be honest, at late game that's not as much, and that you could be taken out really quickly if they're all focused on you. And basically, you can't really let Annie just really sit there and cast her spells, because above all else, she is a nuker. So I recommend that if you're facing Annie and that she is at least doing fairly well, I would recommend that you set her as one of the first champions to take out first. So after you drop your ult and your spell combo, just always think that you're always the first target and try your best to survive and get out of there. But at the same time, be in a good position to be in range to cast your spells when they get off cooldown. For my last tip, I just want to say that in some cases, it is more important to cast your ult and your spell combo to take out one enemy champion rather than focus on laying on the whole team. Because in some cases, there may be one champion that's wrecking your team, So if you are able to take them out first before a team fight even starts, which is for this game their Rise was nuking the hell out of my team. So once I was able to take them out, their team basically fell apart because it became 4 versus 5, and without their main damage dealer, the game was basically over. So with the game coming to an end, I would like to thank you all for watching. There's still a lot more for me to say, but to be honest, it would take more than just one video to explain all the things that are necessary to play Annie really well. But I do feel that in this video, I cover a lot of the basic stuff in order to help you guys at least play her properly and to build upon. So thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you guys thought of my video. I know it took me a while to release another video, but to be honest, I really hate the whole editing process. So in the near future, I will probably release some newer gameplays of me possibly doing live commentaries as I play. So you guys can hear my thoughts and as I rage, as I cheer, as I play the game basically. So I think that's gonna be pretty fun and as well pretty entertaining. I may as well play some team games, some team rank games with a couple of my friends. We all have really good players, so I think that'd be fun as well. It's just to help me release more content out there and save me some time for the whole editing process, which, as I said, I really hate. It's like the longest thing to do. I'm also thinking of doing a dual commentary with another League of Legends commentator who I just met and agreed to do one, which I think will be pretty much really fun. So please support my channel by subscribing and whatnot, and see you guys later.